Hello, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic. Thanks for joining me for another scrapbook layout. See, I've got this photo here that I've printed from Canva, this collage, and I'm using the Uniquely Creative kit back from May 21, as you saw. So I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek of some of the parts of this kit. It's a very old one, as you saw, but it's one I absolutely adore. It's called Outback Divine, and I'm just going through some of the leftover pages here. So as part of my scrapbooking challenge, I want to get through some of the old kits that I've been holding on to. This one is no exception. And these kits from Uniquely Creative, I should mention, always come with these kind of inspiration booklets as well. It's got scrapbook layouts as well as card designs to give you some ideas. So I've just flipped through that booklet there just to give me an idea of what I could use as a way of embellishing my scrapbook layout. But I'm going to start off. This photo I printed from Ivy Norman. I actually did the design, the collage design, using Canva. That's a free online app as well. And I did a bunch actually. I did quite a few at once, and when I got them printed out. So this one is a group of photos of my daughter from 2020. So this is going to be the scrapbook layout that I do today. And you can see I'm just trimming that down now, and I've decided on this piece of this 12 by 12 paper just because I like that square background in it as well. I'm hoping you're not going to see much of it because I am deciding just to do lots of layered clusters designs with some of the embellishments. But when I was looking through the photos, I did like the darker one. I just thought it might be too dark as an overall background. So instead, I'm just trimming an inch off each of these sides just to make this a little bit smaller. And then the actual scrapbook picture that I did like, of piece of paper that I did like, was this darker one here. So I'm just making some little marks of where my page is going to overlap, and I am a miser. I am very mindful of not wasting money, so whenever I do overlap layouts like this, I always cut out some of the parts that will be hidden because I don't want to waste it. It's gorgeous paper. So I'm just putting this over the top now, and I'm not doing much of, well, I guess dimensional elements to it. I'm roughing this up a little bit because I do like that effect, but because it's going to go in a scrapbook album, I am being very conscious with all of these scrapbook layouts that I do not to give too much depth to it because it'll just get squished in the album. I know that for sure. When I am doing scrapbook layouts that I'm going to put in a frame on my craft room wall, then I do absolutely go to town with flowers and things, but I'm going to try and keep these as flat as I can because they are going to go in the album, as I've said. So you can see I've just pushed that down a little bit, and I'm just going to use some of this double-sided tape to stick that down as well, just avoiding that centre part where I've taken some of that paper out. And then this is my background. So if you watched my video last week, you'll know that I'm trying to get back into scrapbooking. Last week was my first time in a long time actually, so I kept that layout nice and simple, just again using up some scraps that I had. And this time around I want to use up lots of these florals as well that I've got. So it's got lots of floral cardboard cutouts as well as vellum pieces as well, which you're going to see now. It does have lots of flowers as well, but as I mentioned, I want to keep it nice and flat, so I'm just going to put all of those to one side. I'm not going to use any of the floral pieces for this. So I looked in the book and I saw some designs just with some clusters, and I was using that as a rough idea of how I want to do it. Mine's going to come out more or less all the way around these photos, so I'm going to basically put them all down, make sure I'm happy with it, and then I'm going to just sneak in a little bit of glue to set them in place. Now I have seen other people, once they've got it set up as they like, take a little photograph before they dismantle it. But because I know this is going into a scrapbook album, I'm not too worried about any of the pieces becoming unsecure or coming loose. I will make sure obviously that they're all nice and secure before I finish, but I'm not too worried that it's any of it's going to fall off, so I'm not going to dismantle it once I've got it in place. This really is the fun part for me for scrapbooking. You can see here just how many of these pieces that I've got left. And I have used the kit. I've used it, I've made loads of cards with it. I did memory decks card as well. I think I also did a scrapbook layout way back when I first got the kit as well. I love these vellum pieces, mixing them in and out with the normal card pieces as well. I like the different effect that gives. And I'm hoping to cover most of this background with some of these flowers. I'm trying to keep them as correct, if you like, as it should be. So keeping similar type flowers together. You can see in this top corner I've got some eucalyptus and gravilla, and yeah, there's lots of these gorgeous flowers. That these shades of colour are just amazing. That's what attracted me to this kit. I don't subscribe to the monthly kit. You can do a subscription and it does work out a little bit cheaper, but I generally just get the kits as and when I see them, and I like the paper packs and designs. I've got a laser cut here. This word divine usually comes with laser cuts as well. These laser packs are just like little thin chipboard pieces, and I did debate whether or not I should colour that pink or maybe one of the greens just to help keep that balance, but I do like it the way it is. Quite natural, I think, goes well with some of the background tones in it as well. So the other thing I wanted to call out was these little photos. I printed it on a 6x6, I think it was. So doing the collage and then doing the print was a great way of getting the right size that I wanted. Oh, and I wanted to mention this little glue stick as well, these Erlings. If you saw my craft haul video a few months ago, you'll know that I bought a trial pack from Amazon, some of these different glues, and I absolutely love this size of glue. Now that I've been using it for a while, I love this size of glue stick. I've got the bigger one, and I think even when this little one runs out, I'll probably still keep it and refill it. It's just so much handier, and having that smaller size, nice and long and thin. It's almost like having a little bit of a pen. So you can see this comes together really quickly. I'm almost done. Of course, I have got the video on fast forward. It took me about 30-40 minutes in total to do, but obviously, as I mentioned, I've sped it up for you guys to watch. The only thing that's left really for me to do after this is there's also comes with these like little lace pieces in the kit. You can see they're just off to the right. So I did trim these down just to add at the side of the photos as well. I didn't think I was going to do, but I do like the extra texture that it gives to the photo. So I decided may as well use up some of that as well. The whole point for me scrapbooking is using up scraps. So this is why I'm getting some of these added in here now. I've given myself a bit of a resolution not to buy any new collections or kits until I use up some of the old ones, and as you can see I've got some very old ones, even more going back way older than 2021, but I'm making a start with these, so I'm heading in the right direction. So the other thing I'm doing, because this is going into an album, one for each of my children, so my daughter's one here, you can see I'm just adding the year on it, so when we're flicking through we can see which year it related to, because I'm not necessarily going to create them in order either. And I'm hoping as I develop I can get a bit more complex with some of my scrapbook layouts, because it has been a while. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. You can see here this was my original inspiration design that I've taken from it, and I love the way it's come out, and I'm really pleased that I've been able to use up lots of pieces as well. So I hope you have a great crafting weekend. Thanks for watching.